What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's Friday. It's 1 o'clock. It's the Pretty Boy Champ Hour, prolific sports podcast presented to you by Squirrel on Air Network. How everybody doing today? I'm good, as usual. Friday, super fresh. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my barber, Mr. Pringles, always cutting, Mr. Head Honcho. I appreciate you getting me in, having me looking so fly and so clean. Fresh Fridays, you know how I do. You can't be the champ if you ain't fresh. I mean that don't even equate. So I hope everybody doing good today, man. Just, get used to seeing me. Get used to checking me out. This is happening. It's happening every Friday. It's going to continue to happen. So, bear with me. I hope you like NFL talk because that's what I mostly talk about. I talk about football. You can even ask my wife. My first love is football. You know what I mean? So that's just how things go. She's very understanding, so she gets it. I know. Let's talk about it, man. The Super Bowl. I ain't going to lie. I was disappointed in the outcome. I was mostly disappointed in the game. I was disappointed in the product that the NFL put on the field and called it the Super Bowl between two great teams. After about 8 minutes in, I thought the fix was in. I don't know if anybody else thought that, but for me, I literally thought 8 minutes into the game, the fix is in. Kansas City ain't gonna be able to win this game. I see the writing on the wall. It almost had that feel of this high school game where you got this inner city school and they got to travel out to the prep school or the private school and play on their home field and their home turf. And these kids is special and they really, really good, but they can't get no calls. And before you know it, you completely mentally and emotionally out of the game. I'm talking about drained. I've been in that experience before where we were studied with every type of player on the field, and we went out somewhere, man, and we seen the zebras take it from us, man. So it was just it was hard to watch a professional game, and you get that feel of a high school setting. It was almost kind of sickening to watch, you know what I mean? But I guess it was a good storyline. For the NFL, anyway. Tom Brady get his 7th ring. First team to ever win a game at home in a Super Bowl. It was set up for just a great NFL storyline. Something to talk about for years and years and years and years to come, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It was just funny to watch, though. It was just man, as good as a team as Kansas City was, they was never in the game. And it's just hard for me to believe a team that good. The only way you really knock a team out like that is emotionally devastate them, mentally crush them. It was sad to watch, man. Man, I'm not listening to you talk about no Tom Brady because he wasn't that impressive to me. If I literally don't look at the score and just pull up the team stats, literally, you're telling me the score is 31-9, but if I don't look at the score and I just literally pull up team stats, Kansas City 350 total yards, Tampa Bay 340, Kansas City 243 passing yards, Tampa Bay 195, Kansas City 107 rushing yards, Tampa Bay 145, average yards per play 5.1 for Kansas City, 5.4 for Tampa Bay. Hold on, I'm not done. First downs, 22 for Kansas City, 26 for Tampa. Third down conversion, I can go all the way down. Third down conversions, 3 of 13 for Kansas City, 4 of 12 for Tampa Bay. Fourth down efficiency, 1 of 3, 0 of 1. These stats are so close. The score is 31-9, but I'm looking at these stats. Sacks allowed.
I saw what I needed to see.
Yeah, I sure did too.
I had a Foster's in my belly.
Oh, they can't hear you because you ain't got your mic on. Look, that's terrible producing.
Week number 3.
Thank you to my brother Sean Jones, who and you in control, producer. You can see the comments. He commented to you and said, "Can't hear him." So obviously he's talking about you. Like, come on, man, you supposed to be producing. Mark Fages, step up the game.
See, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's week 3.
And now I just kind of look like a dork.
Hey, you know.
We got to have fun with it. Hey. So the old man came out, threw those 3 touchdowns. I was like, I've got a Foster's in my belly. I've got like a
You have more than one Foster's.
I couldn't fit more than one Foster's because I couldn't finish the bloomin' onion. I had that bloomin' onion. I hadn't had a bloomin' onion in forever. I'm sitting there. I was like, oh man. After the one to Antonio, I saw, all I know is I walked in the bar. I saw Gronk spike it twice, and then Antonio hit it. I was like, oh man. I was thinking about you with Mahomes. I said, well, if he's the GOAT, now's where we find out.
It was already foregone by then. The defense had mentally fallen apart.
Was Mahomes? What I heard was Mahomes hitting guys in the numbers, and they were dropping passes.
I'm gonna get to that. You want to get to that? Let's talk about that then, man. Fair enough. Fair enough. Since we don't want to talk about.
You bailed me out after I talked for 5 minutes with my mic off.
No,
this is professional grade stuff here at the Prolific Sports Show.
Man, okay. So since you want me to stop bashing them about cheating, I'm gonna stop bashing them. I'm gonna just talk football. So let's talk football. When it comes down to it, it just like the game was so close. I seen Darrell Williams drop a touchdown on the goal line that hit him right in the face mat. On a 4th down and 15, Patrick Mahomes is rolling right. He's literally getting tackled. He throws the ball horizontal. Like you can't make this up.
Yeah.
Like he throws the ball horizontal. He's not even vertical. He's horizontal, and he lets the ball go. It goes right over Devon White's hands. Hits Darrell Williams right in the face mask. Pat. Man. He drops it.
And I thought I also heard something about Mahomes. He ran, I don't know what the statistic was.
Are you talking about because he ran for 500 yards behind the line? He's running for his life and all that.
Exactly it.
I mean, that's part of it. When you have 3 offensive when you have 3 offensive linemen out there, that's part of it. And then, the coaching, it's so funny because we talk about Andy Reid and how great of an offensive coach he is, but man, throw a screen, run a draw. Like these guys are literally coming after you, ears bent back. You have 2 backup tackles and a backup guard in there. You literally need to be game planning, throwing screens, throwing draws, quick passes. I don't.
So you're saying he had some sidearm throws that he had to kind of force, and they got to the receivers and
man. Patrick Mahomes is still special. He had a pass on a sideline where he rolled left. Dude almost tackled him, spent him around. He throws it up to the back pylon of the corner, and dude drops it in the back of the end zone. It would have been a spectacular catch, but come on, it's the Super Bowl. You got to make that catch.
Yeah, it wasn't their night, but they're going to be back.
No doubt.
They're going to be back.
No doubt.
I think we were talking last week at the end of the show about the passing of the torch. It didn't happen this time,
man. You know what? I don't want to hear that, man. Like when you go out there and like this is a great storyline, but like man, that was BS. That Super Bowl, you made me sit through a whole coronavirus year of football 2020.
Corona, man.
You know what I mean? Cancel the fantasy football season for my crew. I'm a commissioner of my own fantasy. I'm sorry, y'all. We had to cancel, man. We'll be back next year, man. I promise, man. We'll be back next year. Had to cancel the fantasy football season for my crew. I bear with you all year, and then the playoffs is great, and then you put this garbage on the field for the Super Bowl for me to watch?
Man.
Like and I thought personally I was being biased because I just don't like Tom Brady, man.
I kind of feel like you're a little bit biased.
No, I wasn't, because you know who called me? My mother. And she was like, what is this garbage I'm watching? And I thought to myself, I know she not biased. I know my mom ain't biased. So she calling me like, this is some of the worst football I've seen. Matter of fact, she was the one that brought it up. She said, this reminds me of when you guys went up to Walls Jesuit and got cheated. That's what she told me. Look, I can't make this up, man. She called me like, this looks like you guys getting cheated in high school. I remember that game.
Yeah.
So
I can say that it's been a while since I've watched the NFL, and it's because we've had this going on for several years now. People talking about the Super Bowl being rigged.
Man.
We've heard it before, and we've heard it again this week.
Man.
So it's like, just in my eyes, I mean, if that's going on and that's
It's
how
gotta
you're going
be.
to finish,
You know,
I'm just not into it as much as I used to be.
and it's hard to watch because we watched such a great Super Bowl last year where both the teams played and it was like they let them play and win it on the field. But it's like whenever you get 12 into that game, man, there's always something real fishy that go on. And I really don't know. You know, they tried to steal it from the Eagles a couple of years back, but Philly Special wouldn't let them. Like Peterson was so aggressive that game, he would not allow them to lose that game. And then Nick Foles just played tremendous.
I was looking at the timeline of what we're going over here at Prolific Sports Podcast today, and there was nothing in this first segment as we're talking about the Super Bowl about the Bucs defense.
It is. It is.
Okay.
It is. We got Devon White, captain of the D. We're gonna get to him because he was the Super Bowl MVP.
I'm interested in hearing about that. If you'd want to elaborate on the Bucs defense.
So like a guy like Shaq Barrett, he was getting after it, but I tell you, Devon White. He come in last year. He's a rookie.
What position?
Middle linebacker, right? He's from LSU. Comes in. They put the C on his chest immediately. Captain. Now, rookies aren't captains, especially not middle linebackers on defense. It just does not happen.
He is from LSU.
Hey, listen.
That's SEC, baby.
Hey, man. So a guy like Devon White, who, I mean, is just like, I would say he played the best middle linebacker ball this year in the NFL. I mean, just can run sideline to sideline, is nasty, gets up in there and hits the hole.
Sideline to sideline, cat-like speed.
Agility.
LSU Tigers,
yes.
Cat-like speed.
That's just it. So, like, he captained that defense, and then you got a guy like Winfield, Antonio Winfield Jr.
What position is Winfield?
He plays corner. Well, they moved him to safety. They really move him all around. Like he's a lot like his father. Like he's a tremendous tackler on the back end. Tremendous. I mean, he'll come up and he'll hit you. Like, and you want that from your safeties and your DBs. So, like, when it comes down to it, a guy like Jason Pierre-Paul, who's never lost in the playoffs ever.
I've heard of him.
Never lost. He's lost more fingers in playoff games. Okay, let's just say that. But yeah, so the Bucs defense, I give them a lot of credit. That defensive line put a lot of pressure. Guys like Ndamukong and Suh, they really made a name for themselves in the Super Bowl.
Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, from the Lions, Mr. Dirty player himself.
Nebraska Cornhusker.
Who, Ndamukong Suh? Yep, he sure is. And I forgot about that. He's been dirty his whole life.
Is he still playing?
Yeah, he just won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. He's starting D tackle.
Oh.
So they getting everybody rings. Guys like LaShawn McCoy got a championship. Antonio Brown, they giving away rings right now.
That Suh guy's really big. I remember him. He's been around a while, man.
Yeah.
Longevity for that guy. He's been around at least 10 years, right?
Yep. 10 years. More, maybe. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm just not willing to give up the credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I know what I seen. I know what I watched. Like,
does that make you think about not watching?
No, because I'm hoping they put the fix in for the Bills one of these days and we get a ring. So or they get a ring. So it's my favorite team. So I would love to cheer for them. So if they want to put the fix in, they can put the fix in for the Buffalo Bills and help those boys over there in Buffalo get a ring. So
let me get on my connections. Let me see if I can get to Roger Goodell and work that out.
Yeah, man,
for you,
get
buddy.
to Roger Goodell, man. He'll take your call. He ain't gonna take the call from the champ, but he'll take the call from you though, man. He don't want to hear from me.
I've got connections.
Okay, but I'm gonna ask him some serious questions, man. So Brady said he's coming back again. Brady says he's coming back. He's gonna try to go for number 8. Bruce Arians looked drunk up there at the boat party the other day. He's slurring his words and everything. Why they put that man on camera like that?
Carrying Brady out. What's the whole thing? I don't know. I'm gonna ask. What's the thing on social media that Brady's kind of under some duress? He's like, people are like, they're mad at Brady or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I heard that the
the
people are kind of like,
the thing is, you might be on social media more than me, man. You know, it looks like it, but I'm really not on social media that much, man. I haven't found the time to really get my scroll on. Like I haven't really done a healthy scroll in like 3 months, like for real, and just went through and just liked people's stuff and looked and caught up.
I think it was probably just over that video of the guy kind of bringing Brady. It looked like he was like at a water park or something. I have no idea, but he was a little tipsy.
I mean, he's celebrating. He got 7 rings. You know what I mean? I don't know who he paid to get those 7 rings or who he sold his soul to get those 7 rings, man. But like, when you got 7, you could just stand out there and drink and kick it and a little saucy on the boat.
Him and Gronk, man. Whew. That's what being with Giselle does to you.
Is that what it is? Is that how he got the 7 rings? That his wife is the first one, so he really got 8 rings, huh?
Maybe 9.
maybe she good for 2, huh?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm not going to say anything. Mahomes' girlfriend's kind of.
Hey man, don't go there, man. Listen. Hey, hold on, man. No. Okay, we're just talking about straight football. There's no reason to bring that in here, man.
Stick to the game plan here. Stick to the game plan.
And you know, if the Chiefs would have deviated from their game plan, they might have had a chance to win that game. So sometimes, man, you don't always have to stick to the game plan. Sometimes it's necessary to deviate. Like, why are you trying to go deep on every play? Maybe you need to change it up and switch it up and go short and throw screens and do this and do that instead of just thinking you just going to roll out here.
It's kind of hard to believe you spit off all those statistics and they're close statistics, but
the
difference is points.
There's only one statistic that's really, really different, and that's the penalties. Chiefs have 11 for 120 yards, and the Bucs have 4 for 39. Yeah. So that's the difference. And then if you look at these penalties, these are just penalties that keep drives alive. They're not just holding or like they're third down, personal foul, 15 yards, move the ball. Third down, Tom Brady throws an interception to Tyrann Matthews. Oh, no, it comes back for defensive holding. Like, these are penalties that are, like, keeping drives alive. Like,
Bungalish.
Man.
Cincinnati Bungalish. The Bungles wouldn't even be there.
Right, so, because, you know, and if we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm not going to do that. I live in Ohio, man. You're disrespecting the Bengals, man. This is just a football show. And if we're talking about the Bengals, it's because they're picking in the top 5. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect the Bengals to ever be in a Super Bowl. Like I rarely expect the Bengals to make the playoffs.
If they're gonna pick a high profile quarterback, you better have some guys to protect him. That's about what I can say about that.
You know, it's hard to get guys to protect a guy when you don't have a guy. So like it's easy to be like the Bengals should have went out and got offensive linemen to protect Joe Burrow, but you didn't have to protect Joe Burrow because you didn't have Joe Burrow. Yeah. You know what I mean? So who are you protecting back there? Like you ain't got nobody to protect. So what's the reason for the offensive line?
They didn't have anybody with him coming in. You know, they didn't think beforehand. And
you want to know something?
It's depressing.
The Bengals, when they picked Joe Burrow, what number did they pick?
I don't know.
Number 1. Mm-hmm. That means they were the worst team in the league, which means they didn't have any pieces anyway. Yeah. He is the first piece. He's the piece. So we start with him and then we go from there. But they don't have any pieces.
I think that's probably why you don't. I mean, I understand you're trying to get better, but I think that's why you don't pick the king before you get a couple of the smaller, what are they, rooks? I'm thinking chestnut.
I understand, but no, you need your king. You can put pieces around the king.
Well, now he's out, and that injury was really bad.
But you know, he's young. He's not like and you know the surgeries and
wasn't his injury a lot like RG3's?
Yes, but he's not the runner RG3 is. He's that pocket passer, presence guy. I mean, he was throwing the ball 63 times a game this year. I mean, how many rookies throw the ball 63 times in a game? I mean, he threw 63 times with no interceptions that game. Like he was like, he's special.
I also believe that he was the second most hit quarterback
believe it.
in the league. He got hit more than almost anybody.
Well, if you're throwing the ball 63 times a game, that means you're dropping back, and that means you're probably going to take some hits. So,
Champ,
I know.
We've kind of run the spectrum of the Super Bowl.
We'll be back in about 3 minutes. We're going to commercial. Prolific Sports Podcast brought to you by the Score on Air Network. We'll be back in a minute. Thank you for joining us.
In sports, you want to have a player that can get the job done right every time. A real all-star, somebody that's dependable and you can turn to when the game is tough. That player in the audio-video industry is the theater people. From setting up your home's Wi-Fi network and offices, conference rooms, to setting up home theater inside or outside, to setting up the systems to make your home run smarter and safer as well. The theater people can do it all with the quality of professionalism you can expect every single time. That isn't just a great all-around player. That is an all-star. That is why we are the leaders in audiovisual installation in Central Ohio. So call us at 614-604-6327 or check out our website at ttpcolumbus.com to figure out which products will fit you. And don't forget, amplify your personality with the theater.
All right, everybody, we back, man. Thank you for joining me on Prolific Sports Podcast, brought to you by the Score on Air Network, the new generation of sports talk, man. And right before the break, we kind of jumped into our thoroughbreds and phony section, man, and got to talking on Joe Burrow and the quarterbacks. I don't know if you've seen this week, but Russell Wilson looks to be unhappy in Seattle. And you know what? I don't really get this. You know, I'm a Russell Wilson fan. I'm kind of on it, man. You know what? Not really. I like him, but I'm not really a fan. You know, he burnt me 2 years in a row in fantasy, caused me my championship, caused me the championship 1 year. So, like, Russell Wilson, he comes out and he says he's tired of getting hit so much. Now, I don't know if it was because he was chilling with Roger Goodell at the Super Bowl, up there in the press box, hanging out, watching Tom Brady stay all clean and everything. And he got a little jelly belly, you know what I'm saying? A little jealous out there because he had to sit with his girl and he couldn't be on the field with his homies. But he says he's getting hit too much. Russell Wilson. And you know what I tell you, Russell Wilson? Get rid of the football. Quit hanging on to the ball so much. You know what my problem is? Russell Wilson starts out the year every year the same way. He's hot. He's going out. He's throwing for 400 yards, 300 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns in a game. By week 8, Russell Wilson is talk of the MVP.
I gotta ask you, when was it that the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl? How long has it been now?
5 years, I guess. 5 years, right?
It's been a while. Has Russell Wilson peaked?
Yes, I think so.
He's not gonna get them back.
No,
there.
I don't think so. You know what? I can't say yes or no at that. I just think that the dependence on Russell Wilson right now is just a little bit too much. Like, you won Super Bowls by running beast mode and playing defense and got the Legion of Boom out there. That's what translated into Super Bowls. Russell Wilson throwing the ball all over the field and putting up all these numbers didn't win you Super Bowls. And it's not winning you Super Bowls right now.
That was a great defense, too, that the Seahawks had. Yeah.
So they swapped and flipped the defense, signed Russell Wilson, and gave him the money, so he's supposed to lead the team. But after week 9, you disappear. I remember you went out and threw for 375 yards and 5 touchdowns. And then, like, the next week, you fall off a cliff. You 161, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like, you're the MVP talk. And then halfway through the season, you just fall off a cliff. Who are you? Your offense is no longer one of the top offenses in the league. You're no longer throwing for 300-400 yards and all these touchdowns. You can't even get the ball to DK Metcalf. Like, well, what in the world is going on out here? Tyler Lockett can't even find the end zone. He has a game where he gets 3 touchdowns. The next game, he gets 1 target. Like, well, what are we doing out here? Like, these are your playmakers. You're not getting them the ball. You're saying you're getting hit too much. But, like, for me, Russ, man, like, your game is okay, but there's, like, so many better quarterbacks in the league right now. It's just
the Seahawks aren't a current threat. And I know that we're going to be focusing on quarterbacks right now, but I guess I'll ask, as the Super Bowl ends, Brady still around?
No one's talking about Brady.
I know.
Go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead.
The Bucks will be back. The Bucks will be back.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We know that Kansas City will be back.
Oh yeah.
What are 1 or 2 other teams that are on the horizon
that will be back?
Not even to be back. Well, I know you're going to say the
Cleveland
Bills.
Browns. Surprisingly, Cleveland Browns. I like them next year. I like them longevity wise.
These are the teams that are
like people are looking at me probably thinking like, man, Cleveland stink, man. Like, man, no, I like their defense. I like their front seven. They need some work on the back end, safety, corner help to cover guys a little better. I would like to see what that offense look like with Beckham back. Odell Beckham Jr. I would like to see him and Mayfield get it in and put some numbers up. Like, I like that team and how they're built. The coach Stefanski, he runs a tight ship. I mean, I like the direction there. If you're talking about a team that's like no one thinks of.
Yeah, who's somebody that didn't make the playoffs this year, or maybe not the bottom feeder, but somebody that could maybe with a change of a piece or two. I know that you're going to talk about Deshaun Watson here in a minute. The Dolphins.
Yeah, they had the number 1 scoring defense in the league. They were the number 2 total defense in the league behind the Rams. If they get a signal caller, the Dolphins could make some real noise. They have a defense that turns people over. They have a true lockdown corner in Xavier Howard. They got players. They get after the pass rusher really, really well. The Dolphins, they get a signal caller. They get another piece. They could really make a push.
Great defense in Miami, and maybe they get Deshaun Watson. I don't know, but I know
Bears.
That's where the Bears.
The Bears. Okay. You got a guy like Khalil Mack. He's a stud. He's a top-notch defensive player. He's in the defensive player of the year running every single year. If you get somebody to score points in Chicago, you might have something out there. Like there is places where teams that even in Chicago made the playoffs, but they were 8-8, 7-9, or something like that. They weren't a really winning program.
So you're thinking of some really good defensive teams in Miami and Chicago,
because you're not going to go anywhere like the Jets and turn it around. You're not going to go anywhere like Jacksonville with one piece, one player, and just think you're going to turn it around. Like, if you're trying to add one guy to make a run at it, you better be close. Like, you better have already some things set up. Like, and I wanted Deshaun to go to San Francisco. I thought that'd be a great place. But after looking at their offseason coming up, they have 40 free agents that they have to sign back. Like,
which team is this you're talking about?
San Francisco 49ers.
Gotcha.
They have 40 free agents coming up. Like, that is a ton. Like, I don't see where you could trade away your draft picks and go get Deshaun Watson and still have to sign all those guys back.
It sounds like a real tough situation.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking that I seen a rumor the other day that the Patriots are making a play for Jimmy Garoppolo again. They're actually in trade.
Garoppolo's still playing?
He plays for the Niners. They're actually making trade talks and offers for Jimmy G to go back to the Patriots.
That guy's got it. I'm not going to say the name. He's almost as old as you know who.
No, Jimmy G's a young man.
Is that right?
Yeah. Jimmy G's maybe like 27. So
man, it seems like that guy. I might be thinking of somebody else.
Probably, you got to be.
Seems like that guy's been around.
Nope. So they're looking to go get him back. So the Patriots are looking to make a move like that. And, they always giving up picks, so they got plenty of picks to give up. But I don't know.
Pretty boy, I'm going to let you get back into the quarterback talk.
Oh no, this is quarterback talk. This is cool.
You're we were talking about Deshaun Watson and
Denver's in the mix now.
Right.
I mean, Denver is calling about Deshaun Watson. So, like, everybody is calling about him. You know, they actually have Denver at 9, maybe taking the kid Trey Lance from North Dakota State. So, I mean, everybody's in a run for a quarterback. And if you're a team like the Denver Broncos, you're definitely in a run for a quarterback. You have to play Patrick Mahomes twice. And then now you have the Huntley kid who just won Rookie of the Year in L.A. Chargers. Like, he looks like he's the truth. So you got real problems out there out west if you're the Raiders in Denver because you don't have a quarterback. And both of those teams have really, really, really good signal callers. Like, really good signal callers.
You're talking about defenses, and then on offense, it's like we're only talking about the quarterback as far as a position needed. Like the Bears and well, we already talked about Cleveland, but I mean, there's more than just the quarterback on the offensive side, and I'm wondering if some of these teams that you're talking about have got other pieces other than the quarterback that they could use along with a good signal caller.
Well, if you're talking about a team like the Bills, the Buffalo Bills, they need desperately a running back. Like you want to talk about a team that has a quarterback, that has no running game, that actually needs a guy that can catch the ball out the backfield and make people miss. Like, that's a position that Buffalo Bills struggle at. Their running game is probably as a tandem, I would say they have probably bottom 30. I wouldn't take those two guys over anybody in the league. Like, it would be hard for me to take the two Buffalo Bills running backs over any two tandem backs in the league. Like, they are definitely the bottom of the league when it comes to running back tandems. And so a team like that can definitely use a running back on the offensive end, and they could also use another receiver. You know what? Here's a thought. A team like Kansas City needs another receiver.
Okay.
They have nothing but little, small, quick, fast guys. They don't have that big DK Metcalf that can be physical on the outside, that possession guy that can get you those tough yards, those TO guys that go across the middle, and they're big like tight ends and they're hard to tackle. You know what I mean?
You're saying they need to – I was going to say they've got Kelsey, and he's a monster.
Yeah, but he's a tight end. Yeah,
tight end, and you need a wide receiver that's similar – to a bigger guy like a tight end. Yeah.
Just like a 6'3" guy, a 6'2", 220-pound guy that just turns and catch the ball. Like, even like a Mike Evans, they just need a bigger body receiver out there. Like, they could use another weapon on offense.
I don't know the relevance because I don't know if he's still in the league and good, but what's Kyle Rudolph doing?
Is
he still with Minnesota?
Yeah, he's on the back end though. Like they have the new tight end Ian Smith. He's a young guy. He led him in touchdowns this year from the tight end position. So Rudolph's on the back end of it. Trevor Lawrence. Not to forget about him. His pro day is today. He'll be throwing. Actually, Clemson's pro day is next month. He wants to throw early so he can have shoulder surgery. Now, when I first started reading this article, I thought he's throwing today and then he's having shoulder surgery. Like, shouldn't he be throwing after the surgery? But if you just keep reading the article, you'll see that the surgery's on a non-throwing shoulder. So, I mean, it's good for him to throw today, get it out the way, have the surgery. They say it's a labrum injury.
Yeah.
And it's non-throwing shoulder.
If you're messed up, you might as well do it now and not get the surgery and take a chance of something going wrong and you hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm. So he'll have it. He'll be ready for camp, they said. I don't know. We're anxious to see. We don't know where he's going. We don't know if Jacksonville's willing to trade that first-round pick for Deshaun Watson. I mean, that'll be nice, but it's just hard to believe they'll trade him in the division. What about Dak? Let's talk about Dak Prescott, man. He's looking pretty decent. He's starting to work and move around on that ankle a little bit. I've seen a little bit of film on him.
The ankle was the injury that took him out.
Yeah. So are they going? I don't know if they're going to franchise tag him again. Now that you're coming off that dislocated ankle, do you pay him a bunch of money? I mean, he was leading the league in passing last year. He was looking like he was going to be an all-pro. just from the simple fact that they're – now you want to talk about a team that needs 11 players on defense? Like, I don't even know if Dallas Cowboys even thought it was tackle football this year because they just refuse to tackle anybody on defense. Like, you want to talk about a flag team? Like, they're trying to pull guys' flags out there. They're not trying to tackle anybody, okay?
Put some pads on somebody.
No.
Don't put some. Just let them go.
No, we're not doing that.
Just let them go.
I don't feel like tackling today.
Nah, we don't want to win.
Yeah. Odell Beckham, man. Don't worry about it.
Jerry's going to pay us. Jerry's going to pay us.
Exactly. He's going to pay us anyway, man.
Doesn't matter.
Tackling on this team is obsolete. You know what I mean? If you want to tackle, you can. If you don't want to tackle, you don't really have to. Either way, you know what I mean? So I would just like to see what they plan on doing with Dak. You know, the thing is they should have took a defensive player last year, and they took CeeDee Lamb, which was a really, really good pick for them, but still he didn't help them tackle anybody. Like, he didn't help them stop anybody, and that's their problem. Like, they can't stop anyone. So, you can score all the points in the world that you want to score. If you can't stop anyone, how do you expect to win games? All right.
Yeah. You're not making the playoffs if you only got one side of the ball.
Right. And you're not blocking. So you're letting people come free. Well, when you get down so much, people just know the pass rush is coming, so they just pin their ears back and come. Thank you for joining me. I'm about to head in a break real quick. I see my producer telling me I need to wrap it up. I'm getting close to my time. So this is Prolific Sports, brought to you by the Score on Air Network. I'll be back in a minute. Thank you for joining me.
Do you have design ideas for t-shirts but you're not sure where to go? Go to Mojo Sports Gear. That's right, Mojo Sports Gear. At Mojo Sports Gear, you can get custom-made shirts. Whatever design you need, Mojo Sports Gear can provide it. Don't forget to grab a custom-made cap on your way out and rock the best headgear in the game. Give them a call at 614-864-6656. That's 614-864-6656.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me. This is Prolific Sports, brought to you by the Score on Air Network, the new generation of sports talk, man. So we just going to get into our All Eyes on Me section, man, and this is focusing on Cleveland, Ohio. I know Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. But nah, seriously, NFL draft is coming to Cleveland this year. You know I'm going to be there in the flesh, you know what I mean, reporting, doing my sideline thing, doing my analysis thing. Anybody want to join me, y'all free to, you know what I mean? So go up there, hang out, watch the draft, have a few. Let's check out this mock draft. So, of course, we've been talking. Trevor Lawrence is the supposedly number one pick, and he's been consensus number one pick for 2 years now at least. We thought if he could have came out last year, he probably would have went number one. So they say Urban Meyer on board with it. And don't think for a second that Urban Meyer is planning on taking Justin Fields over this young man. He has no plans on doing that. They're saying that this dude is the best prospect since Andrew Luck. But
look, I'm looking at your list here. You're saying that Justin Fields might be going to the Atlanta Falcons with the fourth pick?
Yeah. Well, you know what? There is actually like 4 quarterbacks in the top 10. Like, they actually have the kid Zach Wilson from BYU going second to New York Jets.
4 of the top 10 could be quarterbacks. See, I just don't know. Like, it makes me go back to thinking, are those teams that are going to take those quarterbacks prepared? Are they willing to invest all that money if they don't have guys around him that are going to make sure he doesn't get hurt?
Well, I'm
thinking about you. I don't want you to get hurt.
That's the thing, though. When you're taking this quarterback, you're taking him with the hopes of that he's going to be there for the next 10 years and that you can build around him. Like, you're not taking a quarterback with the intent of like, he's going to come in and save the franchise. You know, you literally have to put pieces around him. Like an anomaly is a guy like Patrick Mahomes who goes into Kansas City, who sits behind Alex Smith for a year, but you're already loaded. You have the Tyreek Hills. You have the Travis Kelce's. You have these players. So when you got this quarterback who just pretty much steps into an already built, ready-made situation, then he's ready to go. But when you're talking about a team like Jacksonville, who's last, or a Bengals team who's terrible,
Yeah, man.
you're. But then that's how teams do it.
You know, and we talked before about how much time and negotiating went into Urban Meyer going to Jacksonville. So he knows the situation, and he knows that if he's going to take a quarterback with that first pick.
Yeah.
So he knows that from there on out, if it needs to be addressed, make sure you get the big boys. Make sure you get somebody.
We'll see how Urban Meyer.
I'm thinking about linemen.
We'll see how Urban Meyer does, because this is not college and this is not recruiting. So you just don't get to go pick the guys you want. This is the NFL draft, and you have to wait your turn, and you have to hit on your draft picks, and you have to make sure those guys you're drafting, you don't have 80 scholarship players. Like you just don't. You don't get to pick the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop is already there, and you get to pick among that, and hopefully you pick the right players. Because if you don't pick the right players, then you just set yourself back. Like if you have 8 picks in a draft and you have 4 bad picks and 2 average picks, like you really just lost your draft. And it's going to be hard to make that up within the next 2 to 3 years because you set yourself back. Like one bad draft can just set you all the way back, especially if you already aren't a good team. Like that's what's happened to the Patriots. They don't draft well. They went out. They had Tom Brady. They was signing free agents. They were getting a lot of players, but they never drafted well.
Yeah,
they don't have any homegrown players.
Yeah, their strength, it seems, has always been from free agency. Yeah. So
the only homegrown player that they've consistently had is a couple guys like Edelman, Brady. You know, they drafted a Gronk. You know, there's been some few and far in between, but like consistently, you would think over 20 years they would have a bunch of homegrown players, but they don't. Like they go out and get guys, bring them in. You know what I mean? So it's just like
almost like letting the rest of the league be a farm system.
Yeah. So I don't know. Number 3 is Jamar Chase. They said he's going to the Dolphins. He was the Biletnikoff Winter Award last year, so he's a little bit bigger, faster than Devon Smith from Bama. They say he's the number 1 receiver coming off the board. It's funny how they value receivers, too, because they value receivers so much, pass catchers so much more than running backs nowadays. And it just seems like that value, it's hard to equivalate, because if you have a really, really dynamic running back, he seems to be the best player on the team, even if you have a really good quarterback. Like, if you think about it, your running back is your best offensive player. He can do more than everybody. He's fast. He's strong. He can catch. He can run between the tackles. He can run on the out. Like, when you think about it, offensively, when you think about it, the running back is the best offensive player. The quarterback is the most important player on the offense, but your running back is your best, most athletic offensive player. Like, and if he's not, then there's a problem with your offense. And that's what the problem with Buffalo's offense is, because they don't have a dynamic running back. When you don't have that back, or a special player back there, you find yourself in trouble, man. So let's get to your boy, since you wanted to talk about him.
Who's that?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Ohio State.
So they had him going to Atlanta. He's from Georgia.
Seems like a natural fit, huh?
I don't know.
Is it time for Matt to hang it up? Or
man, he should have hung it up 2 years ago. And this is what I don't like.
Realistically, though, they've got to give the rookie a year or two under Matt's.
That's what they're saying. They're saying Matt Ryan will be good to learn from. But I don't know, when all he does is turn the ball over in the red zone. How is that good to learn from? Like,
well, you know, I mean, obviously, I think the writing's on the wall, and
it's been on the wall.
The man did go to the Super Bowl, but
and do what?
They lost. I mean,
how
but
did they lose?
By a bad pass. A bad pass.
I mean, but they were winning.
Yeah, man. It was. I'm not.
They
saying
were winning.
It was good. I'm just saying that
Matt Ryan had to get 1 first down.
What's that?
Matt Ryan, he had to get he got 1 first down, he wins the game. He gets 1 first down, he wins the game, man.
It's a nightmare, man. I was pulling for the Falcons in that game, and I get it.
That's a game where I actually watched and I didn't think the fix was in. I just thought a guy just choked. A guy just choked out there.
Making me think of Brady again, man.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, man.
I know you want us to get away
You got
from
your
Brady.
man crush. Talk about your man crush, man. Go ahead. Talk about it.
43 years old, baby. You got to, I mean, man, like in two different teams, 7 rings. Last week we were talking, and I said that I thought Joe Montana was the guy that you could compare him to. But after what I saw in the first half on Sunday, this guy is the outright GOAT, man. As far as quarterbacks go, I mean, you can't, until somebody steps up and gets a lot of championships. Never been a Brady guy, but man, you see him come from 28 points down against Matt, and then I wasn't even going to watch the game. I went out to watch because I wanted to be ready for the show, and then he does what he did in the first half, and I'm just like, at that point, I'd seen what I needed to see. I was like, it's over. I'm going home.
What did he do in the first half?
2 touchdowns to Gronk, and then the touchdown to Antonio
How many yards did he have?
I don't know, but he threw 3 touchdowns.
How many yards did he have?
He had 3 touchdowns.
I'm just wondering, how did they move the ball all the way down there? How did they get the ball down the field? You know what? Because you know what? The truth is, since we talk about it, the Tampa Bay only sustained 1 drive the whole game. They had 1 drive in the second half that they went out and took it wire to wire. They sustained it. And you know what? Even on that drive, Gronk caught that pass down the middle right before Fournette ran it in. You remember that? You remember? See, because I distinctly remember plays in games. Things that stick out to me. I remember that play because it was a false start. I was watching it. I said, oh, Gronk just jumped off sides. They're going to call this one back. He false started. Negative. They did not. He flinched at the line. He took off, ran right down the middle of the field, caught it, kept on running. I said, okay, they'll call this back. He false started. They showed a replay. Tony Romo comments on the replay. Never makes a comment that he flinched. They just kind of just overlooked it, just kind of glossed over the fact that they missed the call.
We kind of covered it earlier.
Nah, we ain't covered everything.
If it's rigged, then
don't watch it. You want to talk about your man crush? Let's talk about him.
But you can't.
You trying to tell me like he went out there and lit it up and torched the field. He did not do that.
I know what I saw.
I know what I saw too. He did not do that because
you can't trade field goals for touchdowns. But I mean, it is what it is, man. He's coming back.
Yeah.
So
what you want? See. You want to talk about him some more? Go ahead, man. Go get his Valentine's Day. You want to send him some flowers or something, man? Send him a bottle of wine or something?
No.
Tell him how much you love him?
He's already got enough liquor. He's fine.
You know what I mean? You sure?
I'm sure.
You don't want to talk about it no more?
No, we're good.
So, okay. So here's your Bengals. And they are taking an offensive tackle.
That's what you're saying they're going to do in the mock draft?
Yes. From Oregon, Penny Sewell. So
it's a different name?
Yeah. I think he's Hawaiian. I'm not sure.
Cool.
So they're taking an offensive lineman to protect his backside because you were complaining about no blocking. But see the thing
for Mahomes.
No. This is for the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow to protect him, to keep him safe, to keep him up. Kansas City's not picking in the top 5; they're picking at 31.
Right.
Like you guys are the Cincinnati Bengals are picking in the top 5.
You say 5th.
Yeah, 5th. You know what I mean? After you picked 1 last year, so you did get a little better. You got a little better. You picked 1.
Bengals. It's every year.
You pick
we were
1.
Used to it.
Now you pick 5, and then next year you'll pick 11. Then the next year you'll pick like 15 or something.
And then after the 15, we'll go back to
1. Right? You know what I mean? So you're moving back. You're moving in the right direction right now. So this is a surprise to me because I hadn't seen this one before. 6 Philadelphia's taking Devonta Smith, the receiver from Alabama that lit up O State. So I kind of like that pick, depending on who's their quarterback, because I think Carson Wentz stinks. So if he's the quarterback, I really don't know what to think. You know what I mean? You talking about a guy who just regressed. who did not get better ever, who does not get better, Carson Wentz. All right, so
Champ, you just let me know when it's time for curtain call.
Oh, for sure. Yep. So then we get on to the Detroit Lions, and they're taking Micah Parsons, linebacker from Penn State. And can I just say that I really, 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 really don't like Penn State linebackers. Like, they are very, very overrated to me when it comes to the league. I just like the LeVar Arringtons and the Aaron Mabins. These dudes, man, like, you talking about don't get it done. Who are they? Where they go? Where they disappear to? Who are these people? They like, who is Aaron Mabin? Like, cats don't even remember. He's a top 5 pick in the league, top 10 pick in the league, and he just didn't even materialize. So last week I talked about Carolina, and they were also trying to make a play for Deshaun Watson, but they got them taking this Trey Lance. You know, and the thing about mock drafts, there are no trades. You know, you can make them up and kind of visualize them, but you really don't know what guys are traded or what moves are going to be made on draft day. But I don't really know if I like the Trey Lance guy. A couple of my homeboys, a couple of my friends, we had a discussion about Trey Lance. Man, North Dakota State. I don't have a problem with small school quarterbacks, man, but it's just like they say athletically, arm strength. He's the one. He's the one. That's what they're telling me. They're saying that when it comes to measurables, he might be better than the Trevor Lawrence dude. Like, just pure measurables, which is hard for me to believe because when you say that he a best prospect since Andrew Luck, and then you tell me that this dude's measurables are better, like, I don't even understand what you're really telling me. So I'm anxious to see this dude really, really throw at the combine and throw at his pro day. I'm really interested to see what he has because I don't know much about Trey Lance. So it's just like hard for me to just say he's a lock or he's good or he's that, man. You just never know about the small school guys just basically on the competition. You all right over there? Okay, all right. Don't, you know, the times we live in, and I can't have you doing that to me. All right, so we're going to get to number 9, Denver Broncos. You know who Patrick Surtain is? No? That's all right. It's cool. So, Patrick Surtain is second corner from Alabama. I'm talking about there's one of these guys that come around every now and then, like, he's going to be a lockdown. And Denver, I don't really know, man. You guys need a lot. You need a lot. I was assumed that the corner would pair him with Von Miller coming back off the edge. That'd be really nice. Dallas Cowboys at 10. Now, I mean, if they could draft 10 players at 10, you know what I mean? I would love for them to draft 10 players at 10 because they need 10 players on defense. But they say they're going to take this Caleb Farley corner from Virginia Tech. The thing about Virginia Tech, man, is they play a lot of cloud coverage, man. And it seems like to be like a one-on-one situation on the outside and cover 3 or man-to-man. But they play a lot of cover 3, man. And I've always noticed that, like, Virginia Tech cornerbacks, they struggle in man-to-man coverage, man-to-man press coverage. And that's something you really, really got to be able to play when you're dealing in the league against all these fast players, man. So,
You ready for curtain call, boss?
man, give me about 2 minutes. All right, so here's a name that I wanted to get to. Now, I honestly don't even know how this guy made it into the first round because when I watch him play, like, it's all right. When I watch him play, I don't feel as if he's special. And this is Mac Jones, the quarterback from Alabama. Like, my thing is, if he is throwing to a bunch of special players, like, the guys around him are uber talented, This guy makes himself into the first round 15 at New England Patriots. How does he do that? Like you're not going to be throwing to these same guys against the same competition and the pros. Like I just don't see where he's a good decision maker, but I just don't see where he's a first round talent. Like he hadn't shown a first round talent being a first round talent all year. Like I just don't even get it. Next is Arizona Cardinals, and they're saying Jalen Waddle. I mean, this is literally with Alabama players. I mean, literally, it's been like 5 guys from Bama already, and we're on pick 16. Like, no wonder they won the national title. There isn't, without a doubt. You got 16 picks, and you got 5 players from one school. Oh, man, be easy over there, producer, man. You all right? He's scaring me in here, people. I don't know what's going on with him behind.
I'm okay. I will survive.
Man. You know what? Before we get out of here, I'm gonna have to cut my last segment a little short, and I want to get into my curtain call, man, because I want to talk about the 2020 Hall of Fame class and the players that just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Mr. Peyton Manning himself, one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Congratulations to him. You know, he had a great career. He's no Tom Brady, Mark Fages, but you know, he was a pretty good quarterback in his own right. You know what I mean? What'd you think about Peyton Manning?
I thought that Peyton Manning was a great competitor. He revolutionized the position. He was a great adversary for Brady. I was always for Peyton Manning. A big Peyton Manning fan. I did hear Calvin Johnson. He got in as well, right?
Yes, Calvin Johnson.
I think I saw. Oh man, it's back to Brady.
No,
I think I heard a stat that said Brady was playing in the league when Johnson started, and now the Hall of Fame announcement, and they're doing it, and Brady's playing in the Super Bowl. So that's pretty mind-boggling.
Well, the thing about Calvin Johnson, Brady's career is just 20 years in the making. So it's just like,
he's been playing a long time.
You know, and it's a little bit easier to play when you're winning. Like, you know, I believe if Manning still didn't have the neck surgery and had the filling in his fingers, I still think he'd be out there throwing the ball around too. His injury really cost him because he couldn't feel the tips of the ball anymore. His fingers were numb, so he couldn't really throw the ball like he really wanted to.
Staying healthy and having longevity and playing a long period of time is beneficial if you want to get into the GOAT talk.
So, you know, Calvin, and I believe Calvin took that early retirement because, once again, playing for an organization like the Rams, you know what I mean, is very, very – the Rams. Playing for organizations like the Lions, the Rams fans probably like, dang, don't disrespect us like that, man. Yeah, playing for an organization like the Lions, it just reminds me of another Barry Sanders situation where you guys aren't good. You're not getting any good. You're not trying to get any good, and this is it for me. So, Calvin, I thought was really good. Probably one of my favorite players of all time, Charles Woodson. He gets in. I mean, like, you talking about a guy who could get it done on both sides of the ball. He was just, like, uber special. A guy who could get it done on all 3 facets of the game: offense, defense, special teams, punt returner, kick returner. Like, you could put this dude anywhere.
Played for couple really big franchises too in the Raiders and the Packers.
Very much so.
He wasn't playing for any chumps, that's for sure.
No, and he was a dominant player in both places. He got him a championship in Green Bay. I was happy for him to get that ring. So, but like him and Peyton Manning played their whole careers together. From the time that one was at Michigan and one was at Tennessee till they came out together. Matter of fact, I think Manning finished second in the Heisman that year to Charles Woodson. They came out and got drafted. I think Charles went 4 to the Raiders and Manning went 1 to the Colts that year. Like, so they just been playing they've seen each other every year, so it was good.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
You know, the longevity and it adds to the success, and that's what got them the honor that they are receiving. Folks, hope you've enjoyed this show.
Oh, you cut me off? Don't cut me off, producer.
No, I'm just letting you take it home.
Okay,
it's time for Pretty Boy Champ to bring it home. Hey, I'm
glad
I can get him to laugh.
You see how they cut me off, man? You see how they just I'm not even.
It's not that I'm cutting you off. It's that
I'm running.
I want to bail out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm bailing out, folks. I'll see you next week. Pretty Boy Champ, take us home.
All right, so I just want to say thank everybody for tuning in. Get used to seeing me. I'm going to be here every Friday, 1 o'clock. Tune in. I'm going to be fresh because I get my hair cut before every show. So, you know, at least I look good for the show. You know what I mean? Y'all can actually comment sometimes on the show while I'm going live or comment, period. Let me know, y'all, what y'all want me to talk about. Let me know what y'all want to hear. I had really good time today. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Pretty boy. This is Prolific Sports, brought to you by the Score on Air Network, the new generation of sports talk. Money Mac, the Pretty Boys Champ. I'll see you next week.